On June 22nd this year, the government finally allowed musicians to play in small venues around the city after more than a year of stop-start restrictions, which saw many only playing for a few weeks in the whole of 2020. Since then, venues have been rushing to fill dates with bands and their fans. Chris B., an events organizer and musician, has put together an event this evening featuring 6 bands for a 17th anniversary concert at a club in Lang Kwai Fong.
It's 17 years. There's a lot of people with great memories of playing at the underground, or, I think some people even, launched their careers at the underground. So it's really, It'd be nice to see new friends and old friends, for sure.
It's great. I haven't seen you for ages, and I've never seen you looking like that, Keith.
While she and her fellow musicians are happy about the lowering of restrictions, they're cautious, knowing it could end any time.
They are seeing some lives, which is nice. It's been longer than 3 weeks, thank God, because the last 2 times was 3 weeks of live music stop, 3 weeks of live music stop, right? Over a year. So they're all very busy, which is great. We want them to be busier, and we want to keep the opportunities for them, for sure.
The memory of 2020 is still fresh for many.
Oh, man, it was depressing because there's no job, It was hard, especially for paying rent, providing for family,
Charles Tidal, a bassist, was out of work for most of last year. He even got evicted. We caught up with him at the end of June after his first live gig this year. So Charles, how does it feel to have your first live gig?
Actually, I'm kind of mixed, emotions about it. So the last time they put music back, it was like 3 weeks. So I hope this will be forever.
By the beginning of July, he was feeling a little more comfortable being back on stage. How do you feel? Are you nervous after being off stage for a while?
Yeah, there's a kind of a stage fright, something like that. But when you start playing, so it's like after a few minutes, like picking it up.
When we caught up with him at the anniversary gig, he was a different person from the one I had first met earlier in the year.
Actually, I've been kind of busy. Like I do gigs every day. There's some weeks I have no day off, so it's picking up. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah.
While he's cautiously optimistic, he isn't giving up his food delivery job.
From time to time, like I do 1 or 2 shifts. Like after a gig, I do some deliveries, food deliveries. Yeah, I will not leave it. It's like I will still do that job because just in case God forbid, it will go away again.
My conscience out of control.
And he's not alone. Other musicians are happy to be back on stage, but they've learned their lesson from 2020.
Yeah, it was really tough. I tried not to look for new work because I always just wanted to keep playing. But then towards the end of 2020, I actually was like, well, I need to find some other way because I don't know when it was going to end. Even at that point, you still don't know when it's end. So I started renting space at a recording studio. So I started doing post-production kind of stuff and all kinds of different things just to make ends meet. Now things are back, so it's better.
Like Charles, Nate and his band have been busy with gigs since live music has returned. Permission for live gigs does come with restrictions, though. Venues have to make sure staff are vaccinated, as well as musicians and guests. And musicians have to wear masks while performing.
We've had a big plastic screen in front of us. We've had to play with the masks on. All kinds of things, and none of them are ideal. None of them help the cause, but we're just happy to play. So, we'll take it as it comes. We all have to get tested for this show. We all have to get vaccinated, which is fine. I just want to play.
And the fans are excited as well.
And I've been craving live music forever, so it's good to like get back into the groove of things.
As for the vaccination requirement,
I think it's really important to be vaccinated, obviously. So if you're not vaccinated, get vaccinated. But yeah, like it makes you feel safer being somewhere where also the musicians.
I'm so happy to be here because I'm here for Mr. Cool. This is something that we haven't experienced for a long time. So really looking forward to this. I think Hong Kong needs this.
it's not just musicians that are getting back to business. Clubs like this one have been closed for more than half a year, and the cost of reopening isn't cheap.
Just to fix our air conditioning is going to cost us $125,000, right? The bar fridges or the Freon's gone in the bar fridges because they've been turned off. And you say, oh, well, why didn't you leave the electricity on? Well, what's the point of leaving electricity on? Electricity's $10,000 a month for this bar. Even our CCTV had to be repaired, right? Because that was turned off, right? So equipment is designed to be used continuously.
Dave Law, who's lived in Hong Kong all his life, owns this bar in Wan Chai. He says the guidelines during COVID over the last year have cost him $300,000 to $400,000 in lost revenue each month. On top of that, having to comply with the new guidelines has a hefty price tag.
They came up with these air purifiers that we all have. And these air purifiers are $5,000 to $10,000 a piece of equipment. The bar industry sort of said, okay, fine, you want us to put up screens, so we put up screens, that was a cost.
Before live gigs were shut down after a 2-week run last November, Dave had a rock concert planned with 25 bands. Tonight, he's put it back on the calendar.
A lot of bands, the musicians themselves, are not in the bands anymore. So therefore, when we rang up the bands, they said, well, we're missing a drummer, we're missing a guitarist. So we had, in effect, from Tuesday last week, a week to organize the rock concert that's been delayed 7 months.
Dave says having live music adds a lot to their bottom line, especially with no more tourists, business travelers, and convention-centered trade shows, which brought in lots of traffic. How big of a draw to your business is live music?
That's massive. It's massive. Is that we have the live music to bring people in. People will stay out late, generally speaking, because they want to see live music. So we're talking about something like 10 times the sales when we have live music than when we don't have live music.
Tonight, he gets a visit from the police, who are just making sure he has the right license to operate. Crisis averted. For now, Dave is hoping they're allowed to continue staying open later and have live gigs. And it seems everyone is operating under this premise.
You gotta do what you gotta do to keep playing music and get your music out there to fans and new audiences and stuff. But you know, we work with it, we roll the punches, and it is what it is. It's a new normal.
It's only been 4 weeks now, maybe, and clearly, you know, there's like the pressure in the pipe has now been released. There's lots of music events happening, like tonight, like the festival put on a couple of weeks ago.
For any job, like, you just get ready really fast and you have short promotion periods. You know, cancellation terms are much shorter now. Before COVID, you could cancel in, 48 hours. Now it might be canceled on the day. So, and we're just enjoying it. And like I said to all the musicians, just enjoy it, just work hard. We don't know how long this will last for, unfortunately.
For now, the bands play on.